Everyone says Capricorn values success. They don't. Capricorn fears worthlessness. And everything you think is ambition is actually desperate compensation. I've analyzed Capricorn placements for 16 years. What I discovered isn't drive. It's terror. The Capricorn you think is focused on achievement isn't climbing towards something. They're running from the feeling of being nothing. Stay until the end. The reason Capricorn can never stop working will break your heart. Let's start with what everyone gets wrong. When you meet a Capricorn, they seem so accomplished. They're always working, always building, always climbing. They have goals, plans, strategies. They seem like natural leaders who just love success. And people admire this. They call it discipline. They call it ambition. But watch what actually happens. The Capricorn achieves something impressive. And for about 5 minutes they feel relief. Then the anxiety returns. Because the achievement didn't fix the core problem. They still feel worthless. So they need another goal. Another achievement. Another piece of evidence that they matter. Because here's what nobody tells you. Capricorn doesn't chase success because they love it. They chase it because stopping means confronting the terrifying question. Without my achievements, what am I worth? Here's the pattern. The Capricorn accomplishes something significant. Gets the promotion, launches the business, reaches the milestone. And everyone congratulates them. But the Capricorn can't feel it. They can't rest. Because the moment they stop producing, the worthlessness creeps back in. So they immediately set a bigger goal. A harder challenge. A higher mountain. And people think this is ambition. This is drive. But it's not. It's addiction. The Capricorn is addicted to achievement the way an addict is addicted to their substance. Not because it feels good. But because without it, they feel like they're dying. The success isn't the goal. The success is the proof that they're not worthless. And that proof expires the second they stop climbing. Let me tell you about the 3 layers of Capricorn worthlessness. First layer. The productivity equation. This is what everyone sees. The Capricorn equates their value with their output. They are what they produce. If they're working, they're worthy. If they're resting, they're wasting their existence. Every hour has to be accounted for. Every day has to show progress. Every week needs measurable results. And it looks like they're just disciplined and goal-oriented. But watch closer. The Capricorn feels physically anxious when they're not being productive. A day off feels like falling. A vacation feels like dying. Relaxation triggers existential dread. Because if they're not producing, what justifies their existence? The productivity isn't discipline. It's life support for their sense of worth. Second layer. The hierarchy obsession. Everyone thinks Capricorn just naturally wants to be at the top. Wrong. Capricorn needs to be at the top because being at the bottom confirms their worst fear. That they're worthless. Every rung on the ladder is evidence they're not nothing. Every title, every recognition, every symbol of status is proof that they matter. But here's the trap. The top keeps moving. There's always someone higher, something bigger, somewhere further to climb. So the Capricorn never arrives. They just keep climbing. And exhausting themselves. And sacrificing their health, their relationships, their joy. All to stay ahead of the feeling that if they're not constantly ascending, they're worthless. The ambition isn't ambition. It's terror of being average. Third layer. The utility prison. This is the layer almost nobody sees. Deep down, the Capricorn believes they only deserve to exist if they're useful. Love isn't about being loved for who they are. Love is earned by being helpful, reliable, responsible. Connection isn't about mutual vulnerability. It's about being the person people depend on. Every relationship is transactional in their mind. Not because they're cold, but because they genuinely believe that if they're not useful, they don't deserve care. So they become the provider, the problem solver, the responsible one. And they resent it. But they can't stop. Because usefulness is the only currency they believe they have. The moment they're not useful, they believe they'll be discarded. The responsibility isn't maturity. It's survival strategy. Let me tell you a real story. I knew a Capricorn named Robert. Robert was the definition of success. VP at 45. Multiple properties. Everyone respected him. He worked 70-hour weeks for 20 years. One day, his doctor told him he was heading for a heart attack if he didn't slow down. Robert tried. He took 2 weeks off. And on day 3, he had a panic attack so severe his wife took him to the ER. They ran tests. Nothing physically wrong. Just anxiety. The doctor asked what triggered it. Robert said something I'll never forget. He said, I was sitting on my deck. Just sitting. And I had this thought, if I'm not working, what am I? Who am I? What's the point of me? And I realized I don't know. I've never known. I've been running so fast for so long that I never stopped to ask what I'm running from. And now I know. I'm running from the feeling that I'm worthless. That I only matter if I'm producing. And I don't know how to stop. Because stopping feels like dying. That's when I understood. Capricorn's success isn't about wanting more. It's about proving you're not nothing. Real ambition is choosing a direction because it fulfills you. Capricorn ambition is compulsive achievement to outrun worthlessness. They've confused being accomplished with being valuable. And the tragic thing is, no amount of success ever fills that void. Because the void isn't about achievement. It's about self-worth. And self-worth can't be earned. It has to be inherent. But Capricorn never learned that. Here's the psychology behind it. Capricorn is an earth sign ruled by Saturn, the planet of discipline, structure, and limitation. Saturn doesn't do easy. Saturn doesn't do enough. Saturn is the taskmaster that says you must always do more to be worthy. And Capricorn internalized this as their identity. They're supposed to be the achiever, the responsible one, the person who makes it to the top. But here's the problem. Saturn's message is actually, you're not enough as you are. You must earn your worth. You must prove your value. And Capricorn spent their whole life trying to prove it. Through work. Through achievement. Through being useful. But you can't prove inherent worth through external achievement. That's like trying to prove you deserve oxygen. You deserve it because you exist. But Capricorn never learned that. They learned that love is conditional on performance. That acceptance requires achievement. That rest is only allowed after proving your worth. And they've been running on that programming their entire life. The tragedy of Capricorn is this. They sacrifice everything that actually makes life worth living in pursuit of worthiness. They work so hard they destroy their health. They're so focused on climbing they miss their children growing up. They're so busy being responsible they forget how to feel joy. They're so obsessed with proving their value that they never actually experience their own life. And then one day they get to the top. And they look around. And they realize they're alone. Exhausted. And still feeling empty. Because the mountain was never the point. The climb was just running from themselves. And you can't outrun your own mind. And here's the cruelest part. Society rewards this. They praise Capricorn's work ethic. They promote them. They give them responsibility. They reinforce the very pattern that's killing them. So the Capricorn never gets the feedback they actually need. Which is, your worth isn't based on what you produce. You matter because you exist. You deserve rest. You deserve care. You deserve love that isn't earned through usefulness. But nobody tells them this. Because everyone benefits from Capricorn's fear. The boss gets the hardest worker. The family gets the most responsible member. The friends get the most reliable person. Everyone gets what they need from Capricorn's worthlessness. So no one challenges it. So what can a Capricorn do? First, admit the truth. You're not driven. You're terrified. You don't love success. You're running from worthlessness. Name the fear. Second, practice rest without guilt. Take one day and do nothing productive. Sit with the anxiety that comes up. Your worth doesn't disappear when you stop working. Prove it to your nervous system. Third, separate your identity from your output. Write down 3 things about yourself that have nothing to do with achievement. Who are you when you're not producing? Find out. Fourth, therapy focused on self-worth and achievement addiction. Because Capricorn's pattern usually comes from childhood experiences where love was conditional on performance. You learned you had to earn your existence. But you didn't. You never did. And if you love a Capricorn, here's what you need to know. Their workaholism isn't about the work. It's about terror of worthlessness. When they can't stop working, they're not choosing work over you. They're choosing survival over connection. Because stopping feels like dying. You have a choice. You can enable it by praising their productivity. Or you can lovingly confront it and say, I don't need you to achieve more. I don't need you to be useful. I need you to be present. I love you for who you are, not what you do. The Capricorn who truly loves you will be terrified by that message. Because it challenges their entire identity. But they might finally stop climbing. Because real love doesn't require achievement. It just requires presence. Capricorn doesn't value success. Capricorn is terrified of being worthless without it. And once you see that fear, the workaholism makes perfect sense. It's not ambition. It's survival. Are you a Capricorn? When did you first learn that you had to earn your right to exist? Or do you love a Capricorn and finally understand why they can never rest? Comment below. This completes our Zodiac series. We've covered all 12 signs and their deepest shadow patterns. If this series has helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Real growth starts with seeing the pattern. And you just spent 12 videos learning to see.